my singing lessons as a child at 13 years old, I connected to spirit through singing. And I find it's cathartic because I can really feel my loss and my pain. I can feel everything that needs to come up, basically. It comes up through singing and dancing for me. And so I had a massive, massive cathartic release yesterday. And I don't feel as panicky now about the eviction. I also whacked the hell out of an old fridge with a saucepan and nearly changed the cats' names to Jesus and Buddha because they just sat there watching me. So I'm going to do some songs today that really, really mean something to me. And it may mean something to someone who's watching, but definitely means something to me. So I'm going to do a few violins. I'm singing a cappella, just me here in the car. And I'm at the beautiful Rye at the moment. I'm really, really feeling my feelings. I've walked all across the Rye, went down to the beautiful waterfall, and just people here today all walking their dogs. And I must admit, I do feel different today. See, we've got to really feel our feelings, really, really experience everything. I'm here to teach you that. And today I really feel it. I don't feel panicky today, but I feel sad today. So it'll come across in the singing. As I say, the singing, it's very cathartic. Everything that happens, it happens for a reason. And so I'm releasing and releasing everything that I need to through my singing. Okay. So what am I going to sing? I'm going to dedicate this to my mother and how much I miss her. And because when she died, I got diagnosed. Instead of giving me grief counseling, they gave me a diagnosis. But that's what I'm saying to you. You're a bunch of labels. You're not mentally ill. You're shocked. So I'm dedicating this to my mother, to Ruth. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far beyond me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above us chimney tops. But will find me somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh, why can't I? Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far beyond me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above those chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I? The next song I'm going to sing is my Yiddish Mama. Again, dedicated to my mum. I found it very difficult to be a mum. Well, she wasn't a mum really, not until I became an adult. She wasn't capable of being a mum. She didn't want children. And so there was no nurturing. And so I have to nurture me now. And I have to mother myself. And I have to feel this. I have to feel how it felt to not have a mother. You have to feel everything. I forgive her because she just wasn't capable of being a mum. She lost her child. I was supposed to be a twin. She never even grieved that child. She just punished me for it. Anyway, it's enough talking. My Yiddish mama, I miss you more than ever now. My Yiddish mama, I want to kiss your wrinkled brow. I want to hold us once more like days gone by, and ask you to forgive me for things I did that made you cry. So few were your pleasures. You never cared for certain styles. Your jewels and treasures, you found them in your baby smiles. Oh, I know that I owe what I am today to that sweet little lady, so old and so gray, to that wonderful Yiddish mama. Oh, my Ima Sheli. חסרה לי היום, אמא שלי, את חסרה לי שלום, אני רוצה לך החזות ביד שלך היום, ולחבק אותך חזק ללב שלי היום, אמא שלי, את לגמרי נעלם, אמא שלי, אין לי בית בעולם, לא חשוב איך היית, אני סולחת לך, לא חשוב איך היית, אני סולחת לך, את היית אמא שלי. It's strange how I still remember my Hebrew. I usually forget my Hebrew until I start speaking it again. This is a song. I'm Jewish and I'm a wandering Jew because I'm being evicted, so I don't have a home anymore. This is a song about the wandering Jew and wandering around without a home. Please subscribe to Moving On TV. Help me grow. I'm trying to get on the media to promote my music, to sing, to be able to have a home for me and my cats, because I will not let anybody take the cats away. We're family. I've lost everyone. I've lost all my family. All I've got is Peace and Ellie, whose names I'm thinking of changing to Jesus and Buddha, because nothing bothers them. When I was primal screaming yesterday and whacking a saucepan on an old fridge, they just sat there looking at me. Jesus and Buddha. The cats, nothing bothers them unless they want food. So I'm Jewish. I'm a wandering Jew. And this is a song about the wandering Jews. And I don't have a home. In a few weeks' time, I don't know where I'm going to be. I'm praying that they're going to let me keep my cats and we're going to be somewhere safe and quiet, because I'm somewhere safe and quiet at the moment. I like where I am. It's safe and quiet. Except I've got no choice but to move because the landlord wants to sell his property. Nothing to do with rent. He wants to sell his property. So I get to go on the streets unless something turns up soon. So I'm a wandering Jew. Like my ancestors that were being burnt out of their houses. I'm not being burnt out of my house, but I never got a stake in my father's home either. My family took it away from me. But that's the world we live in. So now I'm going to sing Mid Neni Off, which means if only I was a bird, a little bird, who is always flying and always finds a nest. I wrote a song called Home is the Nest. Home is my nest. I can't remember it now. But I wrote it here in the Rye a couple of days ago. So. מתנהניו ציפור כנף קטנה בנדודנסו נפשי ממתנה nafshi amitana mitneni of sipor kanaf tana asher baken hatov tanuach shanana asher baken hatov tanuach shanana Eov meor anu ani gamkin ochet iaf meod manuach en liken Tiaf meod lanoch en liken Tiaf meod anuach en Even though I am so tired, I cannot rest because I do not have a nest. I do not have a home to call my own, where I'll never be evicted again. It's non-stop evictions when the landlord feels like it. Just like my ancestors, just like the wandering Jews, you don't have a home. I wanted to create a kibbutz. I found the man that owns the land, the field behind my house. No one plows it. No one does anything with it. He won't even talk to me. He won't even talk to me. A piece of land that is going wild, that nobody does anything with. I could build it into a beautiful community based on love and music and dancing and singing and holistic, where no one is ever lonely like I am, where no one is ever evicted with the threat of losing your animals. So you get shocked and you end up mentally ill. You're not mentally ill, you're shocked. You get another label, they give you another label. After they abuse you and shock you more, they give you another label, yeah? Another label. Thank you, King Arthur 1324. Please subscribe. Today is Stay Sane Daily 124. They wouldn't even talk to me about letting me use that land behind the house that is going wasted. Nobody is using it. He wouldn't even talk to me. I found him. It's like my life isn't as important as that piece of land. That's how they treat you. My life and my happiness and my stability and being with my animals, because animals keep you sane, especially if they're Jesus and Buddha, my animals. Jesus and Buddha traveled with a family, with a tribe. I have been on my own for 2 years, staying sane without medication, singing, dancing, crying, primal screaming, doing everything I need to do, running, moving on TV, doing my best, getting abused, getting trolled non-stop. Thank God today there's 3 people on here, or 2 people on here, that are actually saying nice things to me for a change. I have a massive story of recovery. I should have been thriving. I should have been allowed to sell my book, Simply Amazing, Chapter 8. I should have been allowed to tell you that BPD can be healed on the NHS for free in a therapeutic community without medication, but they wouldn't let me tell you that. I've tried for 11 years to tell you that through my shows, through my touring, through moving on TV. I couldn't do anything. They wouldn't let me work anywhere. They wouldn't let me thrive anywhere. And subsequently, I'm now being evicted. That's the world you live in. Not because the rent wasn't paid, but because the landlord wants to sell. It's not enough that he has one house. He needs me and the cats to be homeless. The cats are my family. They're all I have. I don't have any family anymore. If you read Simply Amazing Chapter 8, you will know what happened to me when my father was euthanized by my blood family and they took my home away from me and cut me off. They took my share in my father's home away from me in the court and cut me off. And I landed with no one and nothing. I was in a wheelchair for 5 months, and you see me dance. 5 months I was in a wheelchair, and you see me dance now. I'm a miracle. I'm a walking miracle. I didn't have an operation. Spirit healed me. I healed myself with psychic surgery. And 5 years later, I dance, I tap dance, I jump around. I am a walking miracle. I healed borderline personality disorder without medication, but I wasn't allowed to tell you that. And now, because they wouldn't let me work anywhere, they wouldn't let me thrive in any way, shape, or form. The media, the system blocked me and would not put me on because I'm not a celebrity. Even my local bookshop would not sell my book, Simply Amazing, because I wasn't famous enough to bring in an audience, to bring in people. That's how you're living. My story is huge. I never take medication, and that's why I'm blocked everywhere. Because I'm proving to you that BPD is not a real mental illness. It's a bunch of labels. Remember the BPD song? I sang it to you. I'll sing it to you again. A little bit of agoraphobia, a little bit of OCD, a little bit of claustrophobia. That's BPD. A little or a lot of depression, laced with it's all about me, narcissism. A cup of Tourette's. Now what comes next? That's BPD. You don't have Tourette's. You're a speaker. You're trying to teach. A little bit of autism, a little bit of AD or ADHD, a cup of paranoia. You're looking at me? That's BPD. Now add in schizoid tendencies because you believe in angels and God. That's their test. If you believe in angels, you're schizoid. That's the test to check whether you're schizoid. Believe me, I went through it. And make it all about me, narcissism. A spoon of manic states got a lot on our plates with a monkey brain that I cannot train. No, you're an artist. Write, create, write your life story. That's BPD. It's all about me. And OCD and BPD and BOD and DDD and DDD, and it goes on and on and on and on. They've got BED now, bitterment disorder, borderline embitterment disorder. Everybody's got that. That's BPD. Labels. So they didn't let me progress. They didn't let me thrive. I've been singing since I was 13. You hear my voice. My voice, I could sing the Albert Hall out without a microphone. I'm trained. Even without the training, I was blasting out um, auditoriums at the age of 13 as the lead soloist of Tzadikov in Israel, the biggest children's choir. I performed in front of presidents with orchestras. I've had this voice since I was 13 years old. They wouldn't let me use it because I turned down the entertainment business in Israel because I knew it was going to lead me in a direction that Edith Piaf went, Amy Winehouse, Charlie Church, puppets. They're all puppets, and I'm not. And I said to my dad, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go that direction. They said I was 17 years old. They told me I'd have to go to parties and wear wigs and eat caviar and mix with men and God knows what would have happened to me if I'd gone down that direction. Oh, I would have been famous, all right. I would have been a puppet because I was already performing everywhere with a famous opera singer everywhere. So now I'm taking it back. Now I'm contacting every place I can think of, premier radio stations everywhere to get me out there so that I can have a home. That's all I want. A home for me and Peace and Ellie or Jesus and Buddha, whatever I call them these days. I just want a home to be safe in. That's it. And I can never be evicted again. I've never realized how hard it was going to be with the council as well. I didn't realize that the council would even put up barriers. I mean, it's against the law to ban animals. Do you know that? But they do whatever they want. Even the council. Even the council. And I'm entitled to housing. I've been in High Wycombe for nearly 20 years. And I'm entitled to be housed in High Wycombe, in a nice place with me and Peace and Ellie, Buddha and Jesus. My cats, Peace and Ellie, aka Buddha and Jesus, they live with me. They keep me calm. They're my family. No one takes them away from me. And it's against the law to say that you cannot be housed with pets, especially the council. They're breaking the law. But nobody thinks about that. Nobody cares about me. Nobody cares about me. I care about me. And the friends that are helping me, 2 friends are helping me at the moment. Like, I mean, really there for me. And my sponsor, my codependency sponsor, Roxy in Canada, is there for me. We cry, we primal scream together, we co-sponsor each other. And I find my higher power. My higher power is singing, dancing, it's being in nature. It's cathartic for me to feel my feelings so I can bring them up. This is my higher power. I'm an artist, I'm a performer, I'm an entertainer. I've been on the stage since I was 6 years old. I should be everywhere. The feedback, if you go on feedback on movingontheatre.co.uk, check the feedback I got for Edith Piaf. Check the feedback I've got on my website. They said that I was better than Elaine Page. They said that I should be everywhere, that I was Piaf. The media wouldn't touch me because I'm not a celebrity. I'm not famous. I'm over 40. Oh my God. They wouldn't touch me. So I couldn't thrive. My book came out, Simply Amazing, when Casey Armstrong found me. I was coming out of the wheelchair. And he put me in the book, Simply Amazing. I'm chapter 8. It's a story where you've got people, there's a man from the Holocaust in that book. I'm so proud to be in that book, but nobody wanted me. Nobody wanted the story that I had to tell about recovery from borderline personality disorder in a therapeutic community on the NHS for free. For free. Everyone can get it. Ask your doctor. No medication. They will help wean you off if you're on medication. I wasn't on any. It was my personal holocaust. It's really, really hard work. It wasn't a piece of cake. Most of you won't be able to do it. I did it. And that's why Lauren is still here. Because my spirit is so strong. I keep coming back. People used to say to me in the therapeutic community, if I were you, I'd be out of here. I couldn't have functioned. How do you do it? I was determined. If it wasn't for the therapeutic community, I'd be dead now. I would be dead. I wouldn't be able to function or deal with anything. The therapeutic community saved my life. And I really should be an ambassador. I don't know why they didn't help me either. That's questionable, but it goes, maybe it's egos. I don't know. But one thing I can tell you is the therapeutic community saved my life. If it wasn't for the therapeutic community, I wouldn't be here now. It wiped the most important thing from me, which was the guilt that I felt for my childhood abuse. Can you believe it that a child could feel guilty for being abused? Yeah, it wiped it. If you want to find out more, check out the book Simply Amazing. I tell you my story in the show, How to Stay Sane in a Crazy World. I put it on Moving On TV. You need to watch it. I talk about it in Two Awake Blondes. Go on Moving On TV, mental health, and check out the playlist Two Awake Blondes. I was interviewed on there about my recovery. It costs you nothing to know my story. If it helps one human being, I've done something good. Like that song from Sound of Music. Whether or not you should, for something in my youth or childhood, I must have done something good. Nothing comes from nothing, nothing ever could. For somewhere in my youth or childhood, I must have done something good. Thank you for the kindness today. For here you are, standing there, loving me, whether or not you should. For somewhere in my youth or childhood, I must have done something good. Nothing comes from nothing, nothing ever should. Or somewhere in my youth or childhood, I must have done something good. Feel and heal. Though I walk through the valley of cold and dark, There is always a song right here in my heart as I try to express my love to you and glory in your smile. Though I walk through the valley of pain inside, there is always a sun that will shine so bright, and I follow through the tunnel to your loving arms. Can you hear me sing? Can you hear me sing? As I long to feel your love in my soul, your love in my soul. Can you hear my prayer echo everywhere as I long to be your angel of light, your angel of light, to show the way. As I walk through the tunnel that leads to you, all the songs of enchantment come shining through, and I always hear the echo of your loving words. To the waters and rivers of tears I cry, like a message of hope I feel deep inside, and it shines right through with colors and eternal love. Can you hear me sing? Can you hear me sing? As I glow in love, with love for this life, all creatures on earth. Can you hear my prayer echo everywhere as I long to be your angel of light, your angel of light, to show the way. Can you hear my prayer echo everywhere as I long to be your angel of light, your angel of light? Can you hear me sing? Can you hear me sing as I long to be your angel of light, your angel of light? Oh, I wrote a whole album after they found the little girls in Soham. That was Can You Hear Me Sing? I wrote that, and I Wish You Peace, and Sing to Thee, and I can't remember the other ones, but it's all on the album. Oh, Instrument of Peace, to raise the vibrations. I'm trying to get this on Christian radio. I'm a Jew who believes in Jesus. I believe in Jesus. I believe in Buddha. I believe that everyone is entitled to a safe home. It's the Maslow triangle: food, water, shelter. But somehow in the UK, they seem to have forgotten that one. And homelessness is everywhere. Everywhere. I'm sending my album out to the world. I'm sending my album out to the world. Can you hear me sing? Everywhere. If anybody knows where I can sing and talk and highlight BPD, no meds, therapeutic community, free on the NHS, I want to shout it from the hilltops, from the top of rooftops. BPD recovery on the NHS, free, no meds. In the UK 11 years ago. Never went backwards. Yes, I have my breakdowns. It's normal. I'm being evicted. They want to take my animals. It's normal to have breakdowns. Buddha, it took him 10 years of meditation to get to the level Buddha was in, and he traveled with a tribe and he taught. Yeah? Jesus went into the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights and screamed at God. He said, I'll not drink that cup of poison. If you watch Andrew Lloyd Webber, I'll not drink that cup of poison. Nail me to that cross. Well, he's saying, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to drink that cup of poison. He went and he broke the temples. He was raging. I whack a fridge, a dead fridge, with a saucepan. Who am I if Jesus couldn't do it and Buddha couldn't do it? Guys, you have a right to express your anger, your fears, your everything. Feel it all. Buddha took 10 years to go through with Mara, sent him everything. Arrows were coming at him from Mara, everything, temptations, all the temptations of the world. He was a very rich man. Mara sent him everything, and he sat there in the rain, in the snow, he sat there and he said, give it to me, give it to me. Jesus went for 40 days and 40 nights into the desert and screamed at God and said, no, I don't want this job. And I don't want this job. I don't want to be treated like this anymore. I don't want to go through this eviction the way it's going. I know I've got to be evicted. Okay, I accept it. Spirit wants me out of that house for some reason. There's a lot of electricity cables underneath. Maybe it's blocking my light work. But you will not take Peace and Ellie away from me. No one will. No one. Ever. They're 19 years old. I've had Peace since he was born. He's my baby. I couldn't have children. Ellie came to us 3 years later. She's his twin. I've had her for 16 years. I've had Peace 19 years since I got PC. They're my babies. They're my family. The same way as you have kids. You want to give your kids up for the system? Give them to someone just because you're poor? Just because they didn't let you work anywhere and thrive? That they could take your animals? No way. I'm standing up now and I'm saying no. No. I'm not drinking this cup of poison for anyone. I'm not a martyr and I'm not sacrificing my life and my animals for anybody. So the universe needs to find me and Pisanelli a nice home, a quiet home, a safe home where I can sing at 2 a.m. in the morning at the top of my voice the same way as I do where I am. Quiet. No 5G. No smart meters. Quiet, safe, healthy. In the quiet, in the safety. Nature, green, beauty. Warm, safe, calm, surrounded by people like me. Enlightened, awakened people. Not the neighbors that I have that call the police when I cry. Yeah, they call the police when I cry. So Spirit wants me out of that house. I get it. But I will not sacrifice my sanity and my animals for this sick system. I am not mentally ill. I never was. I'm a womb twin survivor because my twin died in the womb and nobody even told me till 5 years ago when I found out through hypnosis. And so I have all the symptoms of BPD, abandonment eating disorder, because I lost my twin. Check it out on Google. It's called Vanishing Twin Syndrome. Then I don't want to go over my childhood, but it's all in the book. And I'm writing my life story. But I went through enough to give me label after label. And they labeled me when my mum died. Instead of giving me grief counseling, they gave me a label. Because I couldn't express my creativity and I just lost my mother. And I was going through the menopause and they did not even go there. And I couldn't have kids. It's like I needed love, compassion. And now I need love and compassion. You need love and compassion. We all need love and compassion. Not to be evicted by the greed mentality. When you find me a suitable home for me and Pisanelli where it's quiet and safe and I can do my work with no 5G, no smart meters, you're not going to make me sick. Where I don't have to declare if I've got a cold, if you know what I mean. When you find me a suitable home. But landlords will not take pets. Landlords will not rent to you unless you're earning 30,000 a year. And of course, I'm not earning anything because I've been blocked everywhere from telling you again, you can go to your doctor and ask to go into a therapeutic community if you are diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, a therapeutic community, no medication. I healed in there. You will too, if you work like I did. And if you want me to support you, I'll support you because I'm allowed to, because I did it. But I'm telling you now, that's what they wouldn't let me tell you. They would not let me tell you the truth. So I'm feeling it now. I'm feeling it that I wasn't allowed to work anywhere. I sold out the whole country with Edith Piaf. No, rien de rien. I sold every single fringe I sold out. myself running a theatre company with apparently a mental health issue. Of course, I don't have anything wrong with me. I was happy. I had a family. I had a crew. We all worked together. We sold everything out. We were on top of the world. And then I went to Loose Women. And I said, look, I've sold out all the fringes. I'm so grateful to be on here to tell you now everything. It's all going in my book anyway. But I'm only 18 years old in the book. I'm just in the army. I was in the army, yeah, as well. I was forced into the army. You have to go in the army in Israel. You have no choice. If you don't, you get stuck in prison, right? And I wanted to go in because I was fed up being told that I don't belong. So I thought, I'll do it, get it over with. But I wanted to entertain, and that they didn't let me. But that's another story. I think you know why. Because I turned my back on it, didn't I? But what I'm telling you is, I've lost my train of thought. Yeah. Loose Women. I approached Loose Women. I approached this morning. I approached everywhere. Do you know what, Loose Women? I had conversations with the producer. I said to her, I've sold out every single fringe. I'm in Leicester Square. I'm performing Piaf in Leicester Square. Will you put me on Loose Women? I can magnetize an audience just like that. Check my feedback. Do you know what she said to me? She said, you won't bring in an audience because you're not as famous as Katie Price. Yeah. And put the phone down on me. That's what the media do. I could have been anywhere. I wouldn't have not had a home. I am now at the basics. I've lost everything. I've got nothing, just me and 2 cats, my health, and a car. That's it. My keyboard and my accordion and a guitar and a laptop. That's it. I don't have a home. With all the work that I've done to prove to you that you can be well like me, they wouldn't let me. Because I'm not a puppet. I do not peddle drugs and medication. I tell you the truth. You cannot heal unless you feel. And I felt for 8 months in the therapeutic community, I felt non-stop. I was bullied non-stop, tough love, and I cried and I felt like a 10-year-old child. And when I felt like a 10-year-old child, I felt what a 10-year-old child felt when she was being abused by the family dentist. Everybody knows my story. I'm totally humble when I tell it. I'm not worried about it. Everybody knows, if you read my book, if you listen to my interviews, if you see my shows, I was abused by the family dentist. My parents sent me back non-stop to be abused over and over. I was 10 years old. I was a little girl. I was terrified. I was numb. I thought I killed him. So I went back to make sure he wasn't dead. If you don't want to listen, don't listen. Because I didn't understand what was going on. My parents sent me back time and time again. And in the therapeutic community, I had a massive awakening and I realized that it was their fault, not mine. It was my parents who were stupid. It was my parents who should have listened to me. They should have listened, but they didn't listen. They were innocent people. My dad was very touchy-feely, kind of, Irish Israeli, touchy-feely hugs. My father was very tactile, loving human being that way. He always hugs and stuff. Mum didn't hug at all. She wasn't capable of anything. But the thing is that my father, when I said to him, the dentist kisses me, 11 years old, I don't get it. I don't understand. He kisses me. He thought on the cheek. I couldn't explain. If a child says to you, someone is doing something to them, you listen. Because that child doesn't make stuff up. But my parents didn't believe me. They didn't listen to me. They told me I was naughty. You must go back. So I had to go back to the dentist. He lived in the house next door, in the block of flats next door. The man that was abusing me lived in the block of flats next door to me. And I had to live with that 11 years old, nearly for a whole year, until my father realized there was something wrong and took me away. And then he wouldn't let me out of his sight. He wrapped me up in cotton wool. But in the therapeutic community, I realized it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. I wasn't guilty. Because adults that have been abused, from my experience, people that are diagnosed, when you look at them, they say, oh, I didn't do it. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Not my fault. My whole marriage up until the therapeutic community was, what are you looking at? It's not my fault. I took everything personally. In the therapeutic community, I learned that the adults are in charge of the children. The adults are in charge of the children. Do not let anyone touch a child. Adults are in charge of children. You are the guardians of those children. Protect them. Protect your children. Protect the children. End sexual abuse, and you won't have mental health issues anymore. When a child is abused, they lose their certainty, they lose their trust. The child trusts the adult. Like I trusted the dentist every single time I walked into his office. I didn't believe he was going to touch me again. I remember that. I thought, oh, I'll be okay this time. I was a child. Mummy and Daddy told me to go to the dentist. My parents trusted that in a Jewish country, their child would be safe. No. These people came from the Holocaust. The dentist came from the Holocaust. He was probably in a concentration camp. He was probably abused, and that's why he abused others. I cannot ever accept that, because there's usually something that stops you. But I'm trying to be more open-minded here. God knows what happened to him. He had a number on his arm. Oh, the Jews that went to Israel, they had numbers on their arm. They were abused. God knows what they did to them. Experimented on them in the concentration camps, and they were raped and abused, just whatever. So they carried it on. They carried on the whole process with the children in my neighborhood. My sister was in a ring. She was about 7 years old, and she was in a pedophile ring. God knows what they did to those children. They gave them money. I was lucky I wasn't in that. But what I'm saying to you is your children, you need to protect your children. And what I'm also saying to you is in the therapeutic community where you can go to your doctor and say, I've been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. Lauren Hope Glory told me her experience of a therapeutic community. It's in her book. Show them the book, Simply Amazing, chapter 8. If they say, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Lauren went in a therapeutic community on the NHS in the UK for free, 3 days a week from 8:30 in the morning till 3 p.m. in the afternoon for nearly 2 years and came out with no BPD. It's in Simply Amazing chapter 8. You don't have to get it from me. I've just got books lying around that are just wasted. You can get it from Amazon, from Casey Armstrong. There are 11 stories in there. 11 stories of recovery. I'm one of them. My message to you is you are not mentally ill. You are shocked. The same as me. And I am being evicted because they would not let me teach. They would not let me sing, and they would not let me teach. Because I am not a puppet and I do not peddle these things that stick in your gut and give you cancer in the end. I don't know how much I can say on here before they wipe me off, because we don't have a free world anymore. So I'm trying to get my album, Can You Hear Me Sing, everywhere. On radio, I'm going to the Christian radio stations because of the message. It's not religious, it's spiritual. It's about a higher power. It's me having the guts to say to you, I'm not taking anymore. That's it. Finish. You don't touch my animals. Keep your effing hands off my pets. Keep your effing hands off people's pets. Don't throw us on the streets. Figure it out. You created the problem in the first place. You took our jobs. You took our businesses, especially in the last 2 years. I lost everything. I was running these amazing workshops, teaching people, doing a new musical called Encounters. I had cast it. It was an amazing musical full of comedy, amazing talent with Vlad and Luke and Martin and Emmanuel. We more or less cast it. I was doing workshops. They gave me money. They gave me money to pay staff, to pay choreographer, to pay a musical director, to pay me, to pay Vlad, to pay Luke, to pay everyone. For the center in Amersham Community Center, they gave me the money to thrive because I wrote a whole musical about mental health recovery. And the therapeutic community is Act 2. And then COVID it. Boom. They took it all away. And now they won't give me anything. They don't care anymore. They just want to evict me on the street. They want to shut me up. They don't want you to know the truth. Well, I'm here to tell you the truth. You are not mentally ill. You are shocked. And when you go to the doctor next time, and some psychiatrists that should be locked up because they're madder than anybody else, most of them are alcoholics and God knows what. They know absolutely nothing about the mind, body, spirit connection. They know nothing about food, nothing about nutrition. They know nothing about how the mind works, the consciousness, the energy that we are. They know nothing. They're old school and they don't care. They don't want to expand their horizons. So they tell you, you are mentally ill. No, you're not. If you hear voices and you go to study with a medium, it means you're a clairaudient, not schizophrenic, clairaudient. It means you hear voices. It means you're a medium. If you go to the doctor, they'll tell you you're schizophrenic. Do you know that bread and wheat can make schizophrenic symptoms worse? Bread, white bread and wheat. Look into what you're eating. Look into what you're drinking. I'm not going to talk about schizophrenia because it's not my expertise. My expertise is borderline personality disorder, but apparently I'm schizoid. And the reason I'm schizoid is because I believe in angels. Check out the tests that they give you when they test you to see whether you've got schizoid, because it's part of BPD apparently. So 3/4 of the world that believe in angels are schizoid. And they can give you medication. You've got to learn this, guys. You've got to wake up. The minute you tap back into what shocked you in the first place, that's your healing. And it may not even be you. You could be picking up your ancestors. We're here to heal everything now, the ascension. Your ancestors, my ancestors died in the snow running away because they burnt them out of their houses. So maybe I'm carrying 1 or 2 of them on my shoulders. Because at my age, I would have been dead in the snow. There's no way anybody would have got to my age when they were running away from Russia, being burnt out of their houses as Jews. They would have died in the snow, like the Cold song. So I'm on here every day now I'm ringing up as many places as I can to get Can You Hear Me Sing out there, my album, to raise the vibration, to teach people that you are not mentally ill, you are shocked. You are not mentally ill, you are shocked. You are shocked, you are shocked, you are shocked. And I am shocked by the cruelty of this world because we're innocent. People that get diagnosed, they have big hearts. They have big hearts, they're full of love, and they're shocked. They get shocked because they're sensitive. My mum always used to say to me, Lauren, before you went to Israel, you always used to have this big heart and used to hug everyone. And then it stopped. And I thought we were saying to her, well, you know what I went through, but no, didn't make any difference with her. She said I was to blame all the time for everything, because she wasn't capable of accepting responsibility for anything, my mother. So those people that are being diagnosed, they're the salt of the earth. They're the best people I've ever met. Some of the people in the therapeutic community were the wisest sages I ever met. The minute you put them into support, they were supporting others because we had a bell, right? And if you were in trouble, you go in, you ring the bell and you say, help, I can't deal today. And everyone would sit around you and they say, how can we help you? And then you got 2 or 3 people that supported you. And they were the community members. We ran it together. There was a 24-hour support system. You don't know any of this. It's on the NHS for free. And you don't know any of it. And if you're living in the UK and you've been diagnosed with BPD, go to your doctor and say, I want to go to a therapeutic community like Lauren. You have a right. It's free on the NHS. Mind you, because of COVID and everything, they've probably closed them all down because they wouldn't put money into it. It's all about money and this, as you know. But as far as I know, they are starting up. And I think they're running a lot of programs for young people. So get in there now. Get in there when you're young. Get the support that you need now. They won't let you get away with it if you do the work. Like I did, you will feel everything. You will feel the tough love. They will bully you until you feel. Everything that you're learning now, you will learn from the therapeutic community. The Buddhism, the finding the bit in the middle, discussing everything. You know nothing about it. I was going to show it to you in Encounters, the musical. It will go in my book, Standing on My Own 2 Feet. I'm on chapter 65 and I'm only 18 in the army. I've had a huge life, guys. And I'm trying to do my best to save one life as well as my own and my cat's. This needs to go out there now. People need to know how people are being treated. This is D-Day for me. I don't need to be in panic today. It's Saturday and tomorrow is Sunday. I can calm down. I did a huge amount of feeling and healing yesterday. Sometimes you need to dance or sing in order to bring up your emotions. As you saw, when I was singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, I couldn't stop crying. That brings up your emotions. God gave you tear ducts to cry for joy and to cry for sadness. Yeah, that's why you got tear ducts. I think I need to go. How long have I been here? No, I've got another hour. I've got another hour. I can't believe how they wouldn't let me tell you anything. Imagine if I'd got on this morning or Loose Women and told everyone live about the therapeutic community. You've been cheated. You've been cheated. Imagine if 11 years ago they allowed me within the last 11 years, they allowed me to get on there and say, you don't need medication for borderline personality disorder. Go to a therapeutic community. and do the 12 steps. It's also connected. The 12 steps of AA or NA or EA or whatever A. Find a higher power. Surrender. Admit I've got issues. I don't know what to do. Then find out. That's your first step. I'm totally powerless. Step 12 of the 12 steps says to pass this on. So I'm passing it on. Step 1, I am totally powerless over the world, over people, over places, over things. If you're an alcoholic, I'm totally powerless over drink. If you're into drugs, I'm totally powerless over drugs. If you can't stop eating, I'm totally powerless. If you can't stop dancing, I'm totally powerless over dancing. I've done it. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I made myself sick dancing too much. Totally powerless. I'm an addict. I'm an addict because I'm shocked. Because I'm shocked. And I have this hole inside me because I lost my twin. And I never even knew it till 5 years ago. I lost my twin in the womb. I'm what's known as a vanishing. I am the survivor. So I have survivor's guilt. He died, so he's the vanishing twin. And I've done my studies. 1 in 9 women that have been diagnosed with BPD lost their sibling in the womb. Look into it. It's amazing. You're not mentally ill, you're grieving. So you need to fill it up. So step 1, I'm totally powerless over everything. The serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I'm totally powerless over everything. I can't change anything. Not me. Lauren can't change anything. I've tried. Lauren, I can only take actions, but I cannot change very much on my own because I crash and I cry and I emote and I don't get anywhere. Step 2. Came to believe that a power greater than myself can restore me to sanity. What is that power greater than yourself? Spirit, if you believe in spirit, connecting inside to your feelings and really, really feeling them, connecting. Your power greater than yourself cannot be animals. It cannot be people. It cannot be the body. It cannot be anything that perishes and doesn't come back. It can be nature because it perishes and grows again. It can be my ballet shoes. That can be a power greater than myself because they don't die. They don't die. So, hello there, ballet shoes. Take it. It can be a power greater than yourself. It can be a bracelet, a pretty bracelet. It can be a God box where you put all your problems into your God box. It's called a God box, and you write down your problems and put it in there. That's a power greater than yourself. A power greater than yourself can be outreach. On WhatsApp, there's outreach, non-stop outreach, where you put on there, help, I need outreach. You get 5 minutes to hand over an issue. You share, the other person shares, and that's it. A power greater than myself was the therapeutic community for nearly 2 years of my life. The therapeutic community was in charge of my life because I was finished. I couldn't do anything. I collapsed completely. I broke. I was arrested and thrown in a cell by the lovely police in the area because I'd had a panic attack and I calmed down and I wouldn't let them into my house. So they said, if you don't stop crying, we'll throw you in a cell. And they threw me in a cell and took everything away from me. They wouldn't let me talk to my husband. They said I didn't have a husband. They said I was lying. They wouldn't let me talk to the women's groups because I was having sexual abuse counseling. They wouldn't let me talk to that either. They threw me in a cell. I was in a cell for a whole day until my husband was allowed to come and take me out because I was powerless, totally powerless. So step 2 is came to believe a power great. So the therapeutic community came into my life. No medication. Medication, take it if you need to, but work on yourself while you're taking it. Work on yourself while you're taking it. And try and ask the doctor that you want to work in conjunction with what I'm teaching you here, with creativity, with feeling. Don't, because it can numb you and you won't feel anything and you won't get anywhere. But you know, people tried to medicate me forever. I said no. So I went into the therapeutic community, a power greater than myself. I had to hand everything over to the therapeutic community. They were in charge of my life. They were in charge of my life. It's all in Simply Amazing, chapter 8. My book, my story. It's all on Two Awake Blondes, on Moving on TV, mental health, my story. The therapeutic community took over. I wasn't allowed to melt on anyone. I could be discharged. I had to tell them everything. They became my guardians, my new parents. I was reparented in there. So came to believe a power greater than myself can restore me to sanity, made a conscious decision to hand it over. So conscious decision to say, right, ballet shoes, you're my higher power. Take the eviction. Woo! That's it. Nature, you're my higher power. Take the eviction. Gone. Keep doing it. It works at some point. Then you've got step 4. Step 4 is I do a moral inventory and I look at all the times where I was going through a certain situation. You look at it, and it pinpoints your responsibility. Why am I being evicted? Not actually my response. Why don't I have a home? Because I couldn't hold down a job. Because my marriage wasn't good or right, and so we never got on. If we did have a home, we lost it because I couldn't hold down a job. I couldn't hold down a job because I'm too creative, and I couldn't hold down a job. Why am I being evicted? Well, because when we did have a home, the bank took it because I couldn't hold down a job. Me. Because I was a creative being that needed to be doing what I love. I didn't come here to do, I did try to hold down lots of jobs when I was in my 20s, 30s, but that was it. The body started to get sick, so I don't have a home. I did have a job before the COVID. I was very happy with it. I was doing activities with elderly. I had a brilliant job. And I was doing my workshops. I was growing and growing and growing, which would have led me to having my own home. But how can you have your own home when the houses prices have jumped from 50,000 to 250,000? The system. It's not your fault, guys. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not your fault and it's not my fault. In an ideal world, what I was earning would have been enough to have a home. But my responsibility here is now to stay sane. So I have to look at all the times when, you know, you look at, say if it's codependency, you look at when did my codependency start? Oh, that's interesting. You write about all your resentments, all your fears, all your frustrations. You can get a book, the 4 steps, the 12 steps, step 4, and it will give you guidelines. Okay, so step 4 is a moral inventory. You're literally writing down everything you can think of that you didn't take responsibility for. And then you look at ways of how could I have done that better? What could I have said? You know, and you basically are taking responsibility for you. Step 5, you hand it over. You give your sponsor, you tell your sponsor, you do it, you hand it over to your sponsor. Step 6, you ask for your shortcomings to be removed on a daily basis by a higher power. Step 7, you carry on every day with your inventory. Step 8, you make a list of all the people you have harmed. You have a list of everyone that you feel you have upset in life. Step 9, you make amends. Now, sometimes you can't go to those people because they've blocked you or it's dangerous for you in some way. But you write it down and you say, I'm sorry, or you tell your sponsor. So at least you forgive and you let it go. And of course, you forgive yourself. You forgive yourself, which of course you got to put yourself at the top of the list. Step 10, continue to take moral inventory. And when I was wrong, I admit it. So if you do something, you make a mistake because you're human, you're never going to be perfect. You're going to be excellent and do your best, but not perfect. You admit it. Say, oh God, that was my responsibility. I'm really sorry. If you can't do that, you can't have a relationship. It's got to be two sides. I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry for what I did. And then you come into balance. Okay. Step 11, meditation. I meditate every day to improve my conscious contact with my higher power. Meditation, meditation, meditation. You just close your eyes. I go into the violet flame. I expand my aura. I meditate. And then you feel what you need to feel. You feel your higher power that comes through and helps you and says to you, Lauren, get a saucepan and whack the fridge, the old fridge. Get a saucepan and whack the hell out of an old fridge. Primal, scream it out. And so I do. Doesn't harm me, doesn't harm anyone. It just harms the old fridge. The cat sit there and watch. Just watch. Buddha and Jesus, they got the Peace has got the patience of Jesus, and Ellie has got the temperament of Buddha until she wants food. When they want food, then they're like meatloaf. Like a bat of hell, I'll be gone when the morning comes. If you don't feed me, Mom, I'm gone. Yeah. And then step 12, you pass it on. After having a spiritual awakening like I have, you tell everyone. And that's what I do. I don't have Tourette's. I'm telling you, I'm teaching you, I'm helping you. Because I can today, because I don't feel crazy. No, crazy is not the right word. I don't feel stuck in my emotions to the point where I can't function like I did yesterday when I needed to bash the hell out of a fridge. Stay sane daily. 1, 2, 4. I wrote another song based on the St. Francis of Assisi. Make me an instrument of your peace. The more I get the crap out of me, the more peaceful I am. But as I said to you, Jesus took him a long time. He was a man, a very, very spiritual, wise man. Gandhi was an alcoholic before he became Gandhi. Yeah. He had issues with alcohol and women. He was an addict before he found out what he really was. Addicts are enlightened people. When they admit their addiction, they find out why they're really here, to teach. Because when you can deal with your addiction, you can teach. You teach. A cup of Tourette's. It's not Tourette's. Not if you're teaching and healing and feeling and healing and teaching. Passing on the message of recovery to you, to everyone. Love, make me an instrument of your peace. Love, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there's hatred, let me sow love in darkness, let there be light. Where there is sadness, joy, for every girl and boy. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Oh, divine love, grant that I may not be so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to be loved, as it's in giving that we receive. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. For it's in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it's in dying we're born to eternal life. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Amen. Lyrics by St. Francis of Assisi, adapted by Lauren Hope Glory. Music by Lauren Hope Glory, sung by Lauren Hope Glory. I took the word God and I made it love. Love, make me an instrument of your peace. 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 I feel it now. I can feel it. Love, make me an instrument of your peace. Love, Make me an instrument of your peace. Ahava, aseh mimeni kli l'shalom. Ahava, aseh mimeni kli l'shalom. That's Hebrew. Love. Make me an instrument of your peace. Ahava. Aseh mimeni kli l'shalom. Ahava. Light language. Ahava. Love. Make me an instrument of your peace. Ahava. Aseh mimeni kli l'shalom. Ahava. Aseh mimeni kli. Salam. Shalom. Salam. Shanti. Ana bechebek. I love you. Ana bechebek. I love you. Arabic. Je t'aime. French. I love you. Amore mio. I wrote an Italian aria called Amore mio, my love. I wrote it in English and my friend Gabby de Pasquale put the Italian words, but I wrote the melody. Oggi ti affido mio cuore, prenditi cura di lui e sii la mia guida affinché io possa sempre migliorare per te, amore mio. E quando chiudo gli occhi sogno il tuo dolce sorriso, il il tocco di un bacio di tuo allora solo no, nostro amore. Tu colmi sempre il mio spirito come sorriso di bambini, io sì. Ti ringrazio per il dono, con amore così puro, con amore così vero, amore mio. Tu colmi sempre il mio spirito come sorriso di bambini. No, sì, ti ringrazio per il dono, con amore così puro, con amore così vero, amore mio. Allievi, il mio colore, tutto ciò che io mi hai dimostrato che nel profondo la vita può essere sogno fino a quando tu sarai con me. Amore mio, amore mio, te dono il mio amor, te dono il mio amor, ti written by Lauren Hope Glory. Music. Lyrics by Gabriela de Pascual, sung by Lauren Hope Glory. Surely one of these songs could get out there to stop homelessness, to stop people being evicted, to stop people losing their pets. Amore mio, oggi gli affido il mio cuore, my heart. Prenditi cura di lui e sii la mia guida. You are my guide, affinché ti sempre migliorare. You make me feel like a millionaire. Amore mio, my love. E quando and when tutto, yogi, and when I look in your eyes, so and your smile, and when I kiss you, you give me such joy. Nostro amore, with our love. Tu colmi sempre il mio spirito. You open up my spirit. Come il sorriso di bambini oiosi, like children playing in the joy. Ti ringrazio che il dono you give me. Dio che il dono. Amore mio, my love, my love. Amore mio, amore mio, tu colmi sempre mo spirito, come il sorriso di bambini. Oh, sì, ti ringrazio che il dono. Un amore così puro, such a pure love. Un amore così vero, such a true love. Amore mio. Amore mio, my love. You are my love. Anyway, I'm going to end there. The songs I have, surely they could take a few people off the street. Surely they could stop me from being evicted by giving me a home with my animals. We'll see. It's in God's hands. I'm not being blocked anymore. The message is going out loud and clear. You are not shocked. You are not mentally ill. You are shocked. Loud and clear. I may only have 15 people watching because that's as far as they let me go because of the shadow banning. But each one of you, take it in your heart what I did today and spread the love everywhere and help me to be an instrument of peace by having a good life with my animals. Thank you. Namaste. I love you. Toda. I'll finish with the most beautiful song of all. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living life in peace. For today, imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine all possessions wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people living, sharing the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Ooh, imagine. Namaste, ahava. Love you guys.